Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vipam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha-Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today is Saturday, July 17th, 2021, according to the Gregorian calendar. So many different calendars are there. Trying to mark time. But time is so elusive. It is there pervading our lives, and at the same time it's somehow beyond our lives, controlling our lives, and we would like to be controllers, but Krishna says, I am the controller of time. In fact, he says, I am time. But we try, and so we feel some kind of security in being able to name the time. What time is it? Oh, it's 1:05. So we're going to sing a song of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as we do, from Kalyana Kalpataru. And we are doing Upadesa song number 4. And it's continuing Bhaktivinoda Thakur's addressing his mind, giving advice to his mind. Mana, O mind, Tumi, Barai, Pamara. My dear mind, you are certainly most vile and wicked. Ooh. Tomar Ishvara Hari, your Lord is Sri Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tanke, keno parihari. So then, why are you abandoning him, that is, the mind? Why are you, the mind, abandoning him, the Lord, to worship the various demigods, following the path of lust? Kama-marge, bhajo, bhajowa, debantara, deba-antara, the various gods. Devata is, in Sanskrit, we say devata means something literally like divinity, the abstract noun. And I don't know, debantara, I guess, is including all the devas. Kama-marge, keno is the question, why? And then, parabrahma ek tattva tahate sampriya-sattva nista-gune nista-gune koroho adar. The Supreme Lord is one absolute truth, parabrahma ek tattva, above and beyond the Brahman effulgence. Therefore, honor him only with resolute determination. Sampriya-sattva tahate sampriya-sattva nista-gune koroha adar. Therefore, honor him only with resolute determination. So koroha adar, worship, do the worship, nista-gune, in resolute determination. Aro jata deba-gana misra-sattva aganana nija karja isvara. As far as all the innumerable demigods are concerned, jata deba-gana, ara jata and ara, misra-sattva aganana, their power and authority compared to his, the Lord's, is only partial misra-sattva. For they are each the absolute controller of only one specific type of work within this material world's administrative department. So nija karja, isvara. Isvara is Lord. They're all lords, but of what? They're lords of karya, particular duties. Karya, literally that which is to be done, and it's possessive of what is to be done. They are lords of what is to be done. What is to be done? Nija, their particular, their own duties. Maintaining polite respect for all these demigods. Se-sabe samman koriya, samman, respect, bhajo wa ekamatra hari. Worship only Lord Hari. Ekmatra only. For he is the only supreme controller, genie, sarva-iswar-iswar. Genie, of whom sarva-iswar, he's the Lord of all the lords. Maya jara chaya-sakti, or chaya-sakti, chaya-sakti. Let's see. Incessantly pass your time, my dear mind, by arduously endeavoring for intense, single-minded devotional service unto him, aikantiki bhakti, chaya-sakti. Chaya-sakti, I guess, is intense endeavor. And then sadhiya kal koto nirantar. Whose total potency of Maya is simply his insignificant shadow reflection. Okay, we have to take the whole translation with the whole line. Maya, jara chaya-sakti. Maya is simply his his shadow Shakti. So it's chaya, not chaya. Choi would be 6. Sadhiya kal koto nirantara. So nirantara, always. And sadhiya kal. I don't know. Sadi kal katowa, nirantara. By arduously endeavoring for intense service. And the fourth verse, mulete sinchile jal, sakha-pallaber bala, shire bari nahe karjakar. By pouring water on the root of the tree, mulete sanchile jal. Jal is water. Sanchile is pouring or sprinkling. Mulete, at the root. Sakha-pallaber bala, the branches and leaves will become strong and healthy. Shire bari nahe karjakar. It is useless to try to pour the water on the top part of the tree only. Shire is on the head or on the top. Karyakar, accomplishing of duty, I guess. So it's not your duty. It's not going to work. Hari-bhakti ache janro sarva-deba bandhu taro. Similarly, all the demigods are the dear friend of one who has actual devotion to Hari. Sarva-deba, all the gods, bandhu are the friends, tara, of him, jara, who, hari-bhakti ache, there is hari-bhakti, who has hari-bhakti, bhakti shabe koren adar. Indeed, they all show great honor and respect to the devotee of the Lord. And then comes the signature line, Binod kohiche mona, radha-krsna-sri-carana, bhajo, bhajo, bhajo nirantar. 3 times. Now, Bhaktivinoda is telling you, my dear mind, Binoda kohiche mon. He's telling you, mind, radha-krsna-sri-carana, the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, bhajo, bhajo, bhajo nirantara. Worship them ceaselessly, intensely. He says 3 times, bhajo, bhajo, bhajo nirantara. Yeah. Okay. Let's see now. Mana Tumi Barai Pamara. Mana Tumi Barai Pamara. Tomar, tomar, isvara, hari, tanke, keno, parihari. Tomar, isvara, hari, tanke, keno, parihari. Kama-marge, bhajo, debantara. Kama-marge, bhajo, debantara. Parabrahma, ek tattva, tahate, shampiya, sattva. Parabrahma, ek tattva, tahate, shampiya, sattva. Nista-gune, koro adhara. Nista-gune, koro adhara. Arajata, deba-gana, misra-sattva, aganana. Arajata, deba-gana, misra-sattva, aganana. Nija nija karje isvara. Nija nija karje isvara. Se-sabe saman kori bhajo ek matra hari. Se-sabe saman kori bhajo ek matra hari. Jini sarva-iswar-iswar. Jini sarva-iswar-iswar. Maya jana chaya-sakti tante aikantiki bhakti. Maya jana chaya-sakti tante aikantiki bhakti. Sadhi-kala kato nirantara. Sadhi-kala kato nirantara. Mulete sinchile jala sakha-pallaber bala mulete sinchi lejal sakha-pallaber pala Shirebari nahe karja ka Shirebari nahi kare ka hari-bhakti ache jara sarva-deba bandhu tara hari-bhakti ache jara sarva-deba bandhu tara bhakte sabe korena adara bhakte sabe korena adara Vinoda kohiche mana radha-krsna-sri-carana Vinoda kohiche mana radha-krsna-sri-carana bhajo 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 nirantara bhajo 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 nirantara Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Go Hari Bo nista-gune Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Go Hari Bo. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. So in this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is instructing, and he's moving a step forward from the previous song to karma. He's addressing his mind as a karmi, we may say. My dear karmi mind, now you want to advance by following kama-marge. Not karma-marge, but kama-marge. And how are you doing that? You're worshiping the devas. So that's not necessary. He's advising you don't have to do that, because all you have to do is worship Lord Hari, and you're going to object. You're going to say, oh, but what about the devas? Won't they be offended? Won't they be causing me trouble? And he's saying, no, if you do pure aikantiki bhakti, aikantiki from eka, singular. If you do bhakti directed completely, ekmatra, to Hari, to Lord, the Supreme Lord, then hari-bhakti achetara sarva-deba bandhutara. All the devas are the friends of the Lord, and they will, they are the friends of one who worships the Lord. Yeah, that's how it is. Jara tara, of him, of that person who engages in hari-bhakti. Bhakti sabe koren adar. So, and then he gives the example of, from the Bhagavatam, mulete sin chile jala. Don't go trying to climb up, getting a big ladder, climbing up to the top of a tree to pour water on the top of the tree. You just pour water on the roots, and the whole tree will be nourished. And he concludes with strong emphasis, strong determination, bhajo, 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 which is in the imperative form. He's saying, do it, just like we say, we've made into a kind of greeting of devotees. We say hari bolo, or hari bol for short, but it's actually hari bolo, which means chant or pronounce hari, say hari, hari bolo. Or if we wanted to be more polite, in Hindi language, I guess, we would say hari boliye. And I guess in Bengali, we would say hari bolun. Hari bolun. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. So today first, we have some sad news. We have to inform of the rather rather sudden departure of our dear Toshan Krishna from Split. And he has been with us, I think, practically every time on Saturdays. Isn't it, Murari Chaitanya? I think I'm always seeing you both there. I always remember from Toshan Krishna his absolute eagerness to be with devotees, just totally always eager, enthusiastic to be with devotees. And this memory will always be with me. Murari Chaitanya is with us. He is Toshan Krishna's son. He is a disciple of Sri Rohini Sutta Prabhu. And Murari Chaitanya, perhaps you can share with us some of your own thoughts, your own reflections about your devotee father.
Yes, you can hear me first?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. I should mention where Toshan and Murari Chaitanya have been there in Split, Croatia. And it's been quite some years. I think I visited you at your home one time. That was many years ago.
It was a rent home. First center in Split. It was a rent home.
Rented, oh.
It was rented, yes, it's a long time. It was actually first little center, Namahata Center in Split. Then after Nisimha Vapu and his wife took again and continue with preaching. First about half year was in this rented home, and you visit us. Then Nisimha Vapu, your disciple, took stafet, and preaching is going on. And now we town gave us a nice place where we must restaurate and put Gornita and invite many people, and preaching will go on. And Toshana gave blessings for this few days before that. So I can tell about my father some short. He was born in Serbia, a little village, poor village. He was in poor family, single mom. He has single mom, and yeah, that's my father.
Yes.
And he was really poor, and he had, I think, 2 sisters and brothers. And when he played in play yard with his fellows, he had in that time about 5-6 years. He looked on the sky and said to his friends, "Look, see this aeroplane? One day I will be pilot." And they laugh, ha ha ha, you? He was so skinny. And when he had 14 years, he went in, sorry, my English is not so good, but you understand the point.
Yes.
And he went in Mostar, in Bosnia, and in academy, pilot school academy, and 1 academy, 2 academy, 3 academy, and he became professional military pilot. And he was really, how I say, good in his profession. And how he start with Krishna consciousness. That's the more important thing. It was about 1987. He was in ministry, like Pentagon at that time in former Yugoslavia, Ministry of Defense. He was one of the minister, and he walked through the town in Belgrade, and he saw Raja Vidya, because at the time we study many books about Himalayan yogis, sadhus, and we are interested in these points. And he saw this picture, these yogis, how picture is with these chakras, and he bought and he read, and after that, wow, incredible! What is this? And again, he come in a bookshop and bought Science on Self-Realization.
Ah.
And he he came in Split after 1 month.
Which year was that?
About it was about April 87, 1987. A long time.
Yeah.
And I remember him when I took a lunch, and he said, Bucko, he called me Bucko. Bucko, take this book. It's very nice for you. Oh, no. I have my impersonal way. I'm love. I'm emptiness. No, I don't care about this. Come on, you work in security. You have nice shifts. So you have time. Oh, yeah, okay, yes, that's true. I took this book. And about 2 o'clock, after midnight, I read 20 pages, and my tears coming like this. I said, "That's it. That is my way." And from that point, I start chanting Hare Krishna, because I didn't know Sanskrit. 1 hour, 1 round. That was because I didn't know. I think Hare Krishna, Hare. That was my point. So my father was Bartmana Pradashaka Guru, I think, my first guru.
Yes.
And we started. I read, I remember, Marian in Split? You was in Marian in Split, little hill, nice hill, green hill.
I don't remember.
Okay. It's a nice place for walking, peaceful. And I read Bhagavad Gita for 9 days. All. And after that, I quit my job and go in Pregrada. Surrender fully. With Navadvip and Dadi Baksha Prabhu and Rasodari, and now his name.
Yeah.
And my father was completely confused. He was crying, and why you reject all? What you are doing? Hey, you are fanatic. what you are doing, Murari? Oh, he was completely shocked. And after 1 month, he came with my mother. My mother also passed 2 years ago. And he come to see what is this, what's happening. My son left me. It's catastrophe, he said. And he came and he introduced the devotees, and he started thinking, wow, it's really serious business. It's really, he changed mind, actually. He changed mind. Unfortunately, after 3 months, I was in Sankirtan and I was burned out, and I came back in Split because, in that time was really fanatic mood. Sankirtan, revolution. And he said, no problem, he accepted me, it's okay, slowly down. But after 1 year, I again surrendered 3 months, and again came back and get married, and we in that time opened little center. We came and what I can say, and that's Krishna consciousness go on with falls and downs, how it's every devotee experience. And he was really in all centers, in all these Namahata, little bigger centers in Split, he was always wanted to help devotee. That's the point. Always determination, always this army discipline. Some devotees don't like this, didn't like, Toshana, we are not in army. And he said, yes, we are in army, we are in Krishna army. We are spiritual warriors. Come on. And he always mentioning Vaishnava etiquettes, that this is ornament of devotee body. And he was strict, and some devotees didn't like. Me too. Me too. I live with him, so I know him the best. And one day, sometimes I eat, curry, job, and something like this, and I eat banana. I say, Dharmagupta stoječki sam jeo. Dharmagupta
Standing.
In standing, I eat banana. He looked at me and said, hey, Murari, you eat like, don't eat, sit down and eat. Don't eat like a horse. And so, but he always wanted to help me, devotees, worship deities. He was head pujari many years. He teach devotees. He was mentor. He was really example of nice devotee.
Mm-hmm.
And always he gave lectures, profound lectures. He said that the main problem is envy. Envy can destroy everything, material life or spiritual life. Envy. He gave few 5-6 lectures about envy. And devotees was. But anyway, he was strict. That's his mood. His mood. And I try to follow this, but it's not easy. And he always tried to teach, and he accepted if somebody correct him and wanted to learn. And last day he was a book. Okay, it's not book of Krishna, it's book of health, because few years before that he has health issues, and body was weaker and weaker. Concentration is not bad, also weaker and weaker. Like some dimension, he started forgetting things, and he was focusing. Toshan is like this. If he focus on worshiping, he will completely focus on this. If he focus on health, completely or if training, completely. That was his mood. Then he will drive helicopter, because one mistake, many his colleagues, military colleagues, are dead now before him many years, because of one mistake, we can crash down. But for this, so this discipline, he put in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
So for some devotees, that was too much. And last days, he was so weak, tired, without energy. 2 days before, he said, give blessings to devotees, ask for blessings, forgive all, and ask for forgiveness. He knew that he will left body. Yeah, he knew, and for family members, he said that is last my days, and he takes shower. 2 days before he takes shower, he has some energy and shave, clean, and he said that is my last shower.
Wow.
Month, Papa, don't say that. And the last day he didn't eat. He ate some fruits and he about 10 o'clock he started vomiting 1-2 times, and he was really exhausted, and lay on the bed and look in Krishna picture in altar and your picture.
Hare Krishna.
And he said, "Oh, dear Lord Krishna, please take me as soon as possible because I cannot suffer anymore." And after that, he was in little coma, vomiting. We call emergency, me and sister. Emergency come. They said it.
Whoops. We lost him. Looks like there was sudden disconnection. Okay. Let's hope he returns. In the meantime, for anyone who just joined, we were hearing from Murari Chaitanya, the son of Toshan Krishna. Toshan Krishna is one of our shishyas who, one of the older, I don't know what his age was when he departed, but certainly in his 70s, as far as I know. And he has just a few days ago departed, so we're just remembering him. And certainly we can say that he is going on to a glorious, glorious destination. He was thinking of Krishna right up to the end. He was serving Krishna and the devotees with great, as we heard, military determination. So we'll always have a nice memory of him. And yes, Srila Prabhupada once said that we can pray for departed persons who depart. We can pray for them. And Prabhupada said that will have an effect. Are you back?
Yes, I can finish with 2 sentences if you want.
Yes, please.
Sorry, I don't know what's happened. Maya.
No problem.
And and he was in the emergency room. It was in bad condition. CT result, CT, magnet resonance, CT result come. Doctor came and he said, "Sorry, but sir, but your father will die for a few hours or few days. Completely right side of brain is full of blood. Stroke, bad stroke." So that was about 24 hours after his prayer. Krishna fulfilled his desire.
Yeah. Well,
and 4th of July, where over America is Independence Day in America. My father passed away. All America celebrate his death. So,
some sort of coincidence.
And he be crematory 8th of July and 9th of July ceremony. And that's it. What can I say? Toshana Krishna Prabhu Ki Jai. And I'm very grateful for my father. And he introduced me in Krishna consciousness. He gave me all material and spiritual blessings.
And thank you for all these times you've been translating our Saturday Sangas for him.
Yes, I try to. I do the best.
Yes, that's good.
I did the best.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
And thank you, Guru Maharaj, also, Maharaj, for your kindness to him and for your leadership, your great leadership to him. You are really a role model for him, like devotee. And he was one fear, maybe I can say, because in every devotional service we have ups and downs, but like you say, it's like this. Many times in Pragrada you say, materialistic life is like this. Spiritual life is like this. I always remember that. So when Toshana Krishna Prabhu has these fall downs, he he opened mind to me. He said, "Oh, I hope that my Guru Maharaj will not reject me. I hope." No, no, no. I said, no, no, no. What? He said, anyway, even if he reject me, I will follow his steps. And I will be determined in Krishna consciousness. And I will no choose no guru for me. He is my guru. So, and finally he said a few hours before this vomiting and so on, he said to me, "Thank you, Murari Chaitanya. What will I do without you?" So he thanked me for helping him in service and 2 years. And he very suffered because his wife passed.
Oh,
Even and he also got she also got stroke, and 5.5 months she was in bed
oh,
without help, and he is completely absorbed. He said she is so she is my wife, so she completely focused to help her.
mm,
Everything and I also help. That's my father. And I
indeed.
respect from my heart him and my mother, and
Yes.
you and all devotees.
Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much.
Thank you. Toshan Krishna Prabhu ki jai.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
He said, Shri Krishna Kshetra Swami ki jai. Always.
Always enthusiastic. Good.
Always. Yes.
So, so we can all, what I was saying is we can all pray for him. As Prabhupada said, we can pray for departed souls, that they have a good next destination on the path back to Godhead.
Yes.
So now today we have, Krishna willing, I don't know if it was confirmed, but we hopefully have a surprise guest. And according to schedule, that will be in just 5 minutes. And so before that, well, we can read Srila Raghunath Das Goswami's Manashiksha number 4, since we were doing one verse per week. This is number 4. Asatvarta Vesha Visijamati Sarva-iswar-iswar Kata Mukti Vyagra Nashinukila Sarvat Magilani Apityatva Lakshmi Patiratimito Vyomanayanim Raje radha-krsna-sri-carana manidau tvam bhajamana. O mind, abandon the prostitute of mundane talks, who plunders all intelligence. Do not listen at all to the stories of the tigress named Mukti, who devours all souls. Moreover, also give up attachment to the husband of Lakshmi, Sri Narayan, who only leads one to Vaikuntha. Instead, here in Vraja, serve Shri Radha-Krishna, who give one the jewel of their own love. So there are 3 negatives, 3 things not to do. And we may say, well, that's a problem because the mind cannot really deal in negatives. As we often say, if we tell the mind to not think of an elephant, first thing we think of is an elephant. But here it says, give up the prostitute of mundane talks, the asatvarta vesya, who plunders all intelligence. Kata mukti vyagra, the tigress of liberation, mukti vyagra kata, nashrinu, don't listen, because she is sarvatma gilani, she steals away, she devours all souls. And furthermore, api tyaktva, having given up, or excuse me, giving up Lakshmi patirati, attachment to the pati, the husband of Lakshmi, which is of course Narayan. Itaha, from here, Vyomanayanim, who leads one to Vaikuntha. So these are the three things not to do. And then what should I do? Vraje radha-krsna-sri-carana tvam bhajamana, O mind. Bhaja, worship. Where should I worship? Vraje, in Vraja. Who should I worship? Radha-Krishna, which is dual form because it's Radha and Krishna. So it's Radha-Krishna. Who are they? Swa-rati manidao. They're the ones who are giving the jewel, the money, of their own rati, of their own love. So if one is thinking, no, I like gossip, and I like liberation, we want liberation. Narayan, of course, it's nice to worship Narayan and rather than not worship the Lord at all. But Raghunath, for his part, his mood is, I don't want to be distracted by Narayan. I want to simply focus on Radha Krishna. So he's advising his mind in this way. Hare Krishna. Let's see now. Dharmagupta, did we have any reply from our surprise guest?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, our guest confirmed. We're just waiting for him to connect.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's been a while since we had a surprise guest. So I was myself surprised, I can say, that this surprise guest wrote to me a few weeks ago, just sort of out of the blue, really. And I have to say also, it's not that I've had a lot of association with him. This is he, not she. But he wrote to me in a mood of sort of, let's be in contact. And there he is. Bhima Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Am I correct? You're in Mumbai right now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So let me sort of introduce you to everyone and everyone to you. But we're going to hear from you because, truth be told, I'm going to be learning a lot about you because our meetings have always been rather brief and minimal over the years.
Sure.
Bhima Prabhu is my godbrother in Mumbai, who has been, I think, ever since time immemorial, you've been in Mumbai, isn't it?
Well, I would say three going on 4 decades. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty much from time immemorial. That's close. And Bhima Prabhu, I know Bhima Prabhu as being very much one of the pillars of the Indian BBT, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Am I correct? You're the trustee for India?
Yeah, I'm one of the trustees.
One of the, okay. So that would be one topic I thought we might hear from you something about. But
Sure.
also, first, we want to hear, I think, your story. And then we want to hear, I would say, something about, since you've been in Mumbai so long, you've been there as especially the Juhu temple has developed over the decades. Just before that, I'll say who we all are. This is devotees from, different parts of the world. We have a few devotees in South America, that is Argentina and now Brazil. And we have also devotees in Dubai. And we have devotees mainly in Europe, I would say. Most of us are in different parts of Europe, Poland, Germany, Croatia, Serbia, and the UK, and forgive me for neglecting Holland, I believe we have, and also India. We have Kenshin and Balaram and Lalitamrita in Mayapur. And I see Bhakti Olia in near Vienna. So we're kind of spread around. And we've been doing, and Sita Devi, Sita Sundari is with us. Hare Krishna. She is with us. You didn't get flooded out? Sita Sundari is in Heidesheim in Germany, which is not very far from where Germany has been having terrible floods. But I presume everything is okay in Heidesheim. Yes, like that. We've been having this Saturday Sanga since a year ago, March, when I was on lockdown at the Talasari farm.
Right.
And I was there for, I think, 10 weeks. And we discovered, I guess many of us, we discovered Zoom and so on. Yes.
The internet's not so good out there in Talasari, though, is it? Did it work, the internet?
It actually was, it was quite okay. I was, generally it was okay. Not always, but generally we managed with it. So I was happy about that.
Good.
Yeah, it was, it was a strange situation because I was basically in hiding there because the morning of the day I arrived there, the local police had come and informed Braj Prem Prabhu that no foreigners are allowed to stay there.
Oh.
Yeah, so then I showed up because he had told me the day before, please come. And then he said, now we have to think about this. What are we going to do? He put me in their guest house for 2 days with no internet connection. And then he called me back and he said, anyway, just stay here and just don't ever go outside the farm periphery. Just stay within the farm and everything will be okay. So that's what I did.
Okay. That's pretty strange. I've never heard that before.
And the devotees were so nice. They were so kind to me, helpful in so many ways. I've always grateful to them. So yes, let's hear now your story, starting from how you first met devotees.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank all the devotees for giving me an opportunity to have their association, and especially Maharaj for inviting me to be with all of you. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and back in 1973, a friend of mine became interested in Krishna consciousness. And I was also, well, the first time I met devotees actually was in 1970, the Memorial Day weekend. It was about a year after Woodstock. There was another, the biggest Rath Yatra the biggest rock festival that nobody ever heard of. It was called Kickapoo Creek. And it was in between Chicago and St. Louis, where I'm from. And the devotees came there from Detroit. And there was thousands of young people and doing all their hippie kind of things. And we had been up all night. And in the morning, over this hill comes the devotees chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And they made a circle right around us. And they began to chant and preach. So I remember they gave a stick of incense and a Simply Wonderful that at that time I thought was a donut. And they gave a mantra card, okay? So I took the mantra card, I put it in my wallet, and pretty much, it was there. I knew it was there. I used to write phone numbers on that mantra card, but it never dawned on me to chant until some time later when I read the card and it said, chant this mantra and your life will be sublime. And at that time, my life wasn't doing well. And I thought, okay, let me give it a try. Nothing to lose here. So I began chanting Hare Krishna. And as soon as I began chanting Hare Krishna, I started to meet devotees at the college I was attending, in the shopping center, and I got initial Upanishad, and I read it. And at the same time, one of my friends, he became interested in Krishna consciousness, and he said he was moving nearby the temple. He was going to rent a room nearby the temple and attend the temple programs. So my friend was doing that. And then at some point he said, I'm moving into the temple. I've paid the rent on this room. And if you like, you can stay there. I'm going to shift to the temple.
Oh.
So, in those days, our lives are kind of fluid. We really just kind of went with the flow. Wherever things were going, we were going there. So he moved into the temple. I moved into the room. And not long after that, the devotees said, hey, we're going to New Vrindavan for Janmashtami. You want to come? And I had no idea where New Vrindavan was, nor what Janmashtami was. But I said, yeah, sure. Let's go.
Yeah.
So we jumped in a vehicle, and I can remember it's about 700 miles from St. Louis to New Vrindavan.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove there. I did a lot of the driving. And we picked up some devotees in Cincinnati, I think, some along the way. And we arrived in New Vrindavan. So it was an amazing experience. There were devotees. This was 1973 in New Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada had visited there the year before in 1972, and all the devotees were expecting him to come. but actually he didn't come. He stayed back for the opening of the manor. That's the same year they installed Radha Gokulananda in the manor.
I was
famous.
I was there in the manor when Prabhupada came and installed the deities. Yeah.
And there's an amazing video of Prabhupada dancing in the kirtan at that time.
Yeah.
So anyway, the devotees were expecting him because the Vaikuntha players were there from New York, sannyasis from all over America. Vishnu Jan Maharaj was there, and you know, the advent of Lord Krishna was played by the Vaikuntha players. It was an amazing time. So I got attracted by all that association and all the different activities that were. They had a mock debate between Kirtananda and Vishnu Jan, I think, Mayavadi versus the Vaishnav sannyasi. And the Mayavadi was supposed to be Kirtananda. They began their discussion, and after 1 minute, Kirtananda said, "I surrender," and he bowed down before it.
Okay.
We were taking bath in the creek that was nearby, and I really thought, this is nature, this is natural, this is. Kirtananda Maharaj was saying, yes, many devotees come for the summer, but when winter comes, they all go away. They say, I still bathe in that same creek in the winter. But anyway, the devotees were, they had a midnight feast. And when we were taking prasadam, there were a lot of hippies there, a lot of young people that, you know, so they had a basket and they were making a collection. And the person sitting next to me told the person making the collection, the devotee with the basket, he said, I don't have any money. Like a lot of young people in those days, I don't have any money. And the devotee said, well, you can donate your watch. Now that person thought a minute about donating his watch. He was thinking about it, but before he could say yes or no, the watch was off his hand and in the basket. And I was sitting there thinking, well, that was pretty far out. So after that,
you held on tightly to your watch as he passed.
Never watch. I never wore a watch until I became a devotee, actually. You know, I was kind of one of the, does anybody really care what time it is? You know.
Right.
But so we went back to St. Louis, and I just stayed in the temple. I never left.
Uh-huh.
After about a month, Mahamuni Prabhu, who was the, I think he was the temple vice president, if I'm not mistaken. Mahamuni said, okay, now if you want to stay in the temple, you got to shave up. So it was the great moment of decision making. But I said, okay, I'll shave up. And I shaved up. Some other persons that were staying in the temple shaved up. And the St. Louis temple, very small temple. It's kind of like a family. And I really felt quite sheltered there from, you know, the insanity of the material world. Mm. And I was going out on Harinam with the devotees downtown St. Louis. And we'd come back for lunch in lunchtime. Then we'd go out again door to door with magazines and come back for the evening program. So there wasn't actually a minute to think about anything except for devotional service, devotional activities. And at that time, Makanlal was the temple president, who later on became Bhakti Madhurya Govinda Maharaj.
Oh, yeah.
Who's no longer with us. He was the temple president. and very Krishna conscious, always talking about Krishna. He would give all the classes. And I can remember sitting there, you know, the class is over by 9 o'clock. And by that time I was feeling really hungry, you know.
Yeah.
I was used to eating much before 9 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, I have to get up, Mangalarti. So, but anyway, he gave nice classes. And at 9 o'clock, instead of going straight to breakfast, we would clean the whole temple. That was Muni Prabhu's program. 9 o'clock, class is over, clean the temple.
Oh,
so in 40 minutes, we had, you know, various services. And my first service there in the temple was cleaning the toilets. I think they gave that to every new person just to test their sincerity.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You passed.
I passed. After doing that for about a month, I graduated to washing pots. And I thought that was a great step up, actually. But it was a very nice temple, a lot of wonderful devotees there. Chaturatma, everybody's heard of Chaturatma.
Yeah,
And yeah, Pranadas and Tamopaha was a devotee from St. Louis. And there was a whole group of devotees there. Actually, there was a commune in the suburbs of St. Louis where many of these devotees were staying as members. And I don't know if you remember Sundarup, who was a sannyasi and
yes, I remember.
in Italy. Yeah, so Sundarup is actually from St. Louis, and Sundarup was attending college down in Austin, Texas, or Houston, down in Texas. He got books from the devotees down in Texas, and he brought them back up to this commune. And then later on, he went to Detroit and joined with Bhagawan. Bhagawan, but he left his books there. So many persons in the commune that were living read the books and wound up joining in St. Louis, including Adi Karta Prabhu's wife. She's from St. Louis, and she was in that commune. Anyway, you know, we had a nice little temple there.
Maybe I should explain to everyone else, everyone here in America. One of the things that's gone on, actually, there's a long history of this, but there are many small groups of people who have created intentional communities, each with their own set of rules or lack of rules. And so communes, it's a kind of generic term for any group that's come together where they have somewhat common, well, we can say common ownership, somewhat, some more, some less perhaps. So this was what Bhima Prabhu's talking about, one of these.
I guess that's a real 1960s terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of devotees joined from that. And I spent, you know, about 4.5 years in the St. Louis temple. And at some point, the temple was taken over by the Radha-Damodar traveling Sankirtan party, because St. Louis had a very good airport for book distribution. And Radha-Damodar came in as the, basically they wanted to distribute in the airport. And and I was kind of like traded.
Yeah.
In those days, you used to trade devotees. Somebody needed cook, somebody needed this, and kind of like trading horses, you know.
like baseball players or something.
Something like that, yeah. And Gargamuni's library party there was a devotee called Janapavana who was their mechanic, and he wanted to go back to the States. And so Gargamuni got a trade for him from Radha Damodar because I wanted to go to India. So they said, okay, you go to India, but you stay up until the December marathon and, you know, do the marathon, distributing books, and then you can go to India. But when I was in Kavi Chandra Swami's bus, and we were staying at that time in Louisville, Kentucky, a telegram came from Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And the telegram read, send Bhima to India immediately.
Okay.
So Kavi Chandra Swami said, well, that's it, you're off to India. And I wanted to go to St. Louis where I could raise some money for my ticket. And he gave me $30, which was the fare in those days to fly from Louisville, Kentucky to St. Louis. But he gave me 3 rolls of quarters. And when I went to the airport and I gave the guy the quarters, he was really ticked off. He said, you guys are doing this all the time. Next time, I got to count all these. I'm not going to take these things.
A quarter is 25 cents, and it's a coin. It's a 1/4 of $1. So $30 in coins, in quarters coins.
Yeah, there's a roll. It's a, one roll of quarters is $10. So it was 3 rolls,
Right.
40 quarters in each roll or something. And the guy had to count them all. So he was a little upset, but anyway, he let me get on the plane. And in St. Louis, I got my money together and I came to New York. And at that time, there was a cheap flight from New York to London. It was called the Freddie Lakers flights. There were no frills. There was nothing to eat, just, basic. And it was real cheap.
Were there seats?
Yeah, there were seats. But when I was in New York and I had my ticket to go to London, the word came that Srila Prabhupada was in London and he was coming to New York.
Oh.
This is 1977. Prabhupada was going to come to America.
Oh, yeah. This was September 1977.
Yes, September.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I canceled my ticket and waited for Prabhupada because Prabhupada was coming. My logic to go to India was that Srila Prabhupada was spending 6 months in India. And then the other 6 months, he would travel to other places. So my idea was if I was living in India, I'd get more association with Srila Prabhupada. That was kind of the idea of going to India. And, but if he was coming to America, then okay, I was going to meet him in America. But he changed his program, and although he was coming, his health turned for the worse.
Yeah.
And he went back to India.
Yeah.
And he was in Bombay. So I came to London. I met the devotees in Soho Street, and many nice devotees there, very enthusiastic, like Umadev, Rida, so many devotees.
Were they in Soho Street by that time, or was it Barai Place?
Yeah, they were still in. No, they were in Barai Place. They were in Barai Place. Barai Place. I call it the Yellow Submarine because it's kind of like goes straight up.
Yeah.
And the temple room, Shyam-Sundar made it in such a way it kind of looked like a boat inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wood from Americans.
Yeah.
So then from London, I got a ticket to come to Bombay. And so I came to Bombay and Srila Prabhupada was there. by that time he had moved to his new quarters, the new building, which was under construction. And we were allowed to do a little kirtan for him, which was very different from my early experiences, because you couldn't really go in. They said, don't bother Prabhupada, right? But it was a little more lax at that time. In fact, the first time that I saw Srila Prabhupada was in Mayapur. After being a devotee for 6 months, I had gone to I had an opportunity to go to the Mayapur festival.
Oh.
Yeah, so Prabhupada won. It was first international festival, 1974. Prabhupada wanted as many devotees to come. And when Makanlal read that, he said, okay, we're going. So I got that opportunity to go. And when I got there to Mayapur, I wanted to meet Srila Prabhupada. So I asked where they pointed out to a room in that building that now they call the Lotus Building. And Prabhupada had, and his room was on the 2nd floor. So I went up there, and I got just outside his room. You know, I've been in the movement exactly 6 months, and I got just outside his room, and I saw so many sannyasis inside. So I offered my obeisances, and then I thought I'd go inside. But while I was offering my obeisances, out from another room comes Drishtadyumna and Bhavabhuti, brahmacharis, and they said, hey, he's trying to go in Prabhupada's room. Quick, grab it. I realized that you can't just walk into Srila Prabhupada's room.
Grab him, throw him off the balcony.
Well, they didn't quite do that, but they let me know what the rules were, you know, can't disturb her. So the very next day, one other devotee from St. Louis and myself were, again, just outside Prabhupada's room, because we had been given some rags for cleaning, and we were on our hands and knees cleaning the floor of where Prabhupada's room is, right?
Yeah.
So just then, Srila Prabhupada comes out of his room. You know, he didn't have an attached bathroom. The bathroom is separate.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has to come out. So he was in his gamsha going to the bathroom. And when he saw us on our hands and knees cleaning the floor there, he gave us a big smile and said, Hare Krishna. So the lesson is, you don't have to try to see the spiritual master, but if you do service, Krishna will arrange it so that he sees you.
Yeah. Yes.
So that was my first experience, and there was, you know, some more experiences in between, but I felt that, you know, I wanted to spend more time somehow with Prabhupada, and I thought I'd have a better chance being in India.
Mm-hmm.
So I wound up in Bombay, and it was very nice. Prabhupada was there. We would do some kirtan. But then they decided that they were going to bring Prabhupada to Vrindavan, because there was a lot of noise with the construction going on of the Juhu temple, which was, you know, getting ready to open. He was there waiting for it to open. And so they decided to take him to Vrindavan, and he would, and when the temple was ready, they would bring him back. Maybe September, maybe it was early October by then. And I remember he wasn't going to go by flight, because the road from Delhi, you know, if he flew into Delhi, he'd have to go by road to Vrindavan. And because it was the end of the rainy season, it was filled with chuck holes. And the road and the ride would be too bumpy for him. So they decided to go by train. They were going to take Prabhupada to Vrindavan by train. And I remember there was another devotee who he was part of the library party. Now I was in the library party of Gargamuni. And
Or,
and his
or
name
as he came to be known, Gargamuni.
was Gargamuni, right? So his name was Nrsinga Chaitanya. Now, Nrsinga Chaitanya was a California boy, but he had been living in India and part of Gargamuni's library party. So he had some good experience traveling and being in India. And then the other devotees of my party was Pita Das Bir Singha, who is now Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, who's in my party, and myself. There was 4 of us. So, but Srila Prabhupada was going to Vrindavan, and before he left, we were going to cook for his trip. And one of the things that I made, and I learned how to make for the first time there, was guava chutney. Prabhupada likes guava chutney. Nrsinga Chaitanya made kachoris, and I made the guava chutney. So we had gotten up early by 5. The Prabhupada was leaving at 9 o'clock, and we were up early cooking getting his prasadam, and there was a whole entourage that was going with him, Krishna Maharaj and his Sanskrit. There was quite a number of devotees that were also going. But in those days, there was the original tenants that lived in Hare Krishna land, and they had flats, which was ground floor, first floor, and then later on, the devotees made one more floor where the devotees were staying. So we were in one of the rooms up on its, second floor by Indian standard. And I thought, okay, I'll take a little rest. I'll get up in time just to meet Prabhupada when he leaves. And at that time, Nachi Prabhu was going to use his car to take Srila Prabhupada to the railway station. Well, I got up and I went to the door to get out, go over to, go down and see Prabhupada off. But, in India, they have these doors that lock from the outside. They have the latch that just control the, right?
Somebody locked you in.
Somebody locked me in.
Oh my God.
I was really in a lot of anxiety because Prabhupada was going to Daven. I don't know if I'm going to see him again. And I went to the balcony and I looked out and I said, well, I'll jump. But then I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't jump. We're up on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
But I was really in a lot of anxiety because I didn't get to see Prabhupada off to go to Vrindavan. But there's a whole nother story about how Nathji took him to the railway station, and it's really kind of mystical. Would you like to hear that? I heard it from Nathji.
Sure, why not?
It's an amazing thing. So Srila Prabhupada has this ambassador, but they didn't use it because they wanted him to be able to lie down in the back seat.
Yeah.
So Nathji had this American Dodge car with a big back seat. So he brought his Dodge. And Prabhupada was laying in the back. Upendra was sitting on the floor next to his feet. And in the front, Nathji was driving. And then there was Ramananda and there was Tomar Krishna Maharaj, all in the front. You can imagine it was really a big car because
yeah.
So they're driving, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj is telling Nathji, drive slow, drive slow. Prabhupada tells Upendra, why is he driving so slow? Tell him to go fast. Okay? So Upendra says, Prabhupada wants you to go faster. He tells Nathji. So Nathji, he's a good driver. He just, puts the pedal to the metal, as they say. He was flying down and now Tamal's starting to get agitated. Tamal Krishna Maharaj when he gets upset.
Look out.
So
and especially when you travel with him. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or you're serving prasadam or something. Look out. So he's on Nachi's case now like anything. I told you, slow down. And Srila Prabhupada again is telling Upendra, why is he going so slow? So Nachi thought, okay, spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, he wants me to go fast. I'm going fast. So he, goes, in Bombay, the traffic is like, the first time I rode around Bombay and dodging in and out of the vehicles and passing on the wrong side of the road, it's like a cultural shock all in one trip. That's all you know.
Yes.
But got to, they got to the railway station. And when they got there, they started to get things out of the car. And they found out from the coolie that they had changed the times of the train. And now the train is leaving earlier than it used to.
Wow, that's very unusual for India. It's usually, delay.
They had minutes now to catch the train. So, why was Prabhupada telling them to go fast?
Yeah.
Kind of mystical, isn't it?
Yes, he knew.
He knew. So anyway, I had missed this departure, but we went on traveling Sankirtan. We started to do the libraries, and we went to Gujarat, up through Bombay, up, Surat, Bardoli, Baroda, up to Ahmedabad. And whatever colleges, even school libraries, we would sell the English sets in the colleges, but we would try to sell the first three volumes of the Hindi set to the schools, like high schools, higher secondary schools.
Yeah.
And then we got up to Ahmedabad, and that's the first time I met Yasomati Nandan in the Ahmedabad temple, which was very nice. He had the preaching in Gujarat was going on. But one interesting thing that I noted, in all these towns that we went to, inevitably we met somebody that had met Srila Prabhupada in 1971, when he had gone to all these places with the foreign devotees and had done that. And they were telling, your Guru Maharaj, he gave a lecture here and he did this program in this school. And I was thinking, wow, we didn't know that. Now everybody knows because they read the Lilamrita, but in those days we had no idea what was going on. But I got this impression that, my goodness, Srila Prabhupada's been everywhere. So anyway, we got up to finally by flow, and we were sending our scores by telegram, which is no longer available in India. Telegram, it's a thing of
like Telegram. What is that?
It's the competition of WhatsApp, right? The Telegram. But
now it's something else.
So we sent it. We would send a telegram to Tamal Krishna Maharaj in Vrindavan, and he would read our scores. Later on, Tamal Krishna Maharaj told us that Srila Prabhupada said, hearing these scores is extending my life. So we felt some usefulness in our lives by that comment from Srila Prabhupada. But when we got to Ahmedabad, our party's in charge. I was new man. Pita was new. But Nrsimha Chaitanya and Veer Singha then, and now he's Bhaktivinoda Nrsimha Maharaj, they had a dispute whether we should keep working or we should go spend time with Prabhupada in Vrindavan. And with Prabhupada, right, that's right, let's go to Vrindavan. Prabhupada, yes. But Veer Singha, no. We should just keep working. But
do our service.
Nrsimha Chaitanya, that's it, So Nrsimha Chaitanya won out because he was more senior, and we went to Vrindavan. And So we were there, we were there with Prabhupada. It's maybe 10 days before Govardhan Puja.
Hmm.
Some very amazing things happened during that time. And I don't know how much time we got left, but anyway, it was kind of very mystical for me anyway. But the first thing that I noticed is that when we got there, we met Bhavananda right out in front of Prabhupada's room. And Bhavananda said, "Oh, you've come. Very good. Please go inside Prabhupada's room." And I thought, wow, things have changed.
Yeah.
You could go in and spend time with Srila Prabhupada, and we did. We did kirtan very quick. One small little cartel, we did kirtan for Srila Prabhupada. And I was given a service, a personal service for Srila Prabhupada. And that was, Bhakti True Swami told me, you go to the kitchen after the 5 o'clock cooking, because prasadam was by 5 o'clock, and you bring some charcoal. In those days, they were cooking with charcoal. There wasn't any gas, LPG gas, charcoal. So, and bring it in this clay pot. So I would bring that, give it to Bhakti True Swami, and he would sprinkle the duni, they call it.
Yeah.
It's frankincense. And it would make the room real smoky. And then they would put Srila Prabhupada's mosquito net down over him so he didn't get bothered by the mosquitoes.
Mm.
And so that was my little personal service that I did for Srila Prabhupada. Now again, the dispute broke out between our leaders, Nisringa Chaitanya and Bir Singha. One was saying, no, we should go and do our service. The other one was saying, no, we should be with Prabhupada. Personally, although I really wasn't part of the argument, but I was, yeah, we should be with Prabhupada. Right, that's right. We should.
Yes.
So the dispute went to Satsvarup Maharaj, who was in charge of the American Library Party.
Yes.
And his resolve of the dispute was, during the week, you can go out and do the library. And on the weekend, you can be with Srila Prabhupada.
Hmm.
So I got elected to go with Bir Singha to go back to Ahmedabad and get the van.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In Ahmedabad. So I went to Srila Prabhupada's room, and this was just after Govardhan Puja.
Yeah.
And I offered my obeisance. And I was thinking, oh yes, Srila Prabhupada's okay. He's not going anywhere. And just then, Prabhupada had tasted something that was cooked by his sister, the chudi noodles, they call it save. It's made out of besan.
Hmm.
Because he didn't have any taste on his tongue. He wasn't eating, but once in a while he would eat something to see if there was taste on his tongue.
Mm.
But there wasn't apparently. And whatever he was eating, he spit it back into the katuri.
Mm.
And then Bhavananda, who was feeding him, I was just getting up from him, and he turned around and he gave me those remnants. As I was looking at Prabhupada, thinking he's going to be with us.
Mm.
And those were probably the last remnants that Srila Prabhupada had in this, world manifest.
Mm.
So then we got on the train. Same night, unbelievable crowd. You can imagine Mathura, Diwali, Govardhan night, no reservation. We're getting in a train to go to Ahmedabad.
Good luck.
Dear Krishna, he doesn't have any sense of what's an austerity, or he just completely oblivious to these kind of things. And I was terrified. Literally, I was terrified. People are jamming in the windows, and I got separated from him. It was so crowded. I got hooked up with an Indian devotee who was going back to Ahmedabad named Krishna. And we got in this compartment, and it was relatively peaceful. And I was thinking, well, this is not so bad. And the train started, and we got to about, and then I realized that it was a ladies' compartment. It was all filled with ladies. So we got to Sawai Madhupur before the ladies started getting really upset with us to get out of their compartment. And the police got on the train, and with the butt of their rifles, they pushed us out on the platform. So there we were in Sawai Madhupur, sleeping on the platform, waiting for another train, trying to get to Ahmedabad to get our vehicle to come back. Finally, we did get a train. We got to Ahmedabad. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We went to Yasamati Nandan Prabhu's room. We woke him up, and something happened that I've never seen happen again. And I've been living in India for quite some time. But there was a person that came to the window at 1 a.m. in the morning, mind you, and said, "Telegram." Telegram? So Yaso took it, and he read it, and it read, "Srila Prabhupada's left, come to Vrindavan immediately, Gopal Krishna."
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that moment where they were when they found out, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's really kind of something that is frozen in time for all of us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we did kirtan the rest of the night, and the next morning we got a train and went back to Vrindavan. And yeah, so we got back to Vrindavan just kind of after the samadhi ceremony had been completed, and there was one stick that was sticking up out of the ground.
Yeah, to mark the place.
To mark the place, and then gradually that stick became the resting place of a photograph, and then they put a charter on the photograph gradually, and they started construction of a small room, and there was a 24-hour kirtan going on in that place. You know, it's an amazing thing. Prabhupada he showed him where to put his samadhi, okay? And we owned Hari-Krishna, that, you know, that was donated by the Gita Sharaf, the Sharaf family, right? And they had donated that property, except for right where the samadhi was. They kept, they had an idea that they were going to open shops there. You know, when the big people came up, they had shops, and, you know, they'd be making money, right?
Yeah.
And Prabhupada knew that very well. And what he said was, put my samadhi there.
Because in India, you don't move samadhis.
Right. The possession is 90% of the law.
Right. Yeah.
It's not an open space anymore. But later on, that lady became very favorable, and Devi Shakti, she went to her and you know, preached to her a little bit, and she actually donated that land also. So it is in the name of ISKCON. But just see how Prabhupada was, you know, thinking, even right at the end, so amazingly alert and receptive, and knowing that we were fumblers and bunglers, and he had to think everything ahead.
And always thinking practically, in practical ways.
Very practical, very practical, amazingly practical. So there's so many other things that happened at that time, but I guess I'll stop there if anybody has some reflections, questions.
Yes, the time has gone so quickly. We generally stop at the hour. Well, for you, it would be, what is it, the half hour.
Right.
But yeah, let's just open for questions or comments. Anybody want to say something or ask something? I was going to ask so many things. Maybe I think we have to have you another time to hear some more, but that's okay.
Well, there was up to Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, and then the experiences of living in India and trying to do things in India
Yeah.
afterwards.
Well,
That's kind of
that's something I think we'd all like to hear. Yes, because I've been to India any number of times, but they've all been rather short periods. The longest was this last time.
yeah.
Was 5. Well, I've been maybe 5-6 months, but to be there the whole year, and especially in Mumbai, I'm sure so many challenges.
One of the most difficult things to get around was the phones didn't work.
Oh yeah, you couldn't just
from
phone
America.
somebody. Yeah,
And by America, by that time, they had the Watts line in 55th Street, and you could call in and they'd call you back, and wherever you were in America, you could be in touch and find out which Sankirtan spot was hot, and everything was happening by phone.
yes.
But when I got to India and I was trying to build up the Bombay Sankirtan part, you couldn't even call downtown Bombay without the person on the hello, 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 hello. It's like a competition of who was going to stop saying hello first or something. It drove me nuts completely.
And then there was telex. Remember telex?
I do remember. Yeah, that was an innovation that came.
That was
right
introduced. That was introduced already in the late 70s or early 80s. I know because I lost the beads, the japa mala that Srila Prabhupada had personally chanted on, leaving my beads in Srila Prabhupada's car in the Calcutta airport.
Oh.
When we were flying, myself and Harikesh and one other devotee, to Mumbai, to Bombay. And when we got, I remember specifically, we came to Bombay and I realized I didn't have my beads. So I was trying to telex back to Calcutta, can somebody please recover my beads? And of course, it never happened. You mentioned in the beginning, when you were in St. Louis, this point about what you called fluid lives, when you were invited to come to New Vrindavan. And that's something which I think also devotees in Europe may not appreciate so much, how things were specifically in America for young people, a large number of young people, I would say, in those days, a sense of kind of rough and ready. Where's the next happening going on? What's happening? Let's go.
Where's the party? We want to be there.
Yeah. Where's the party?
I had some crazy friends. Well, they weren't real close friends, but they were crazy. And they used to do a lot of, heroin and things like that. And they used to say, yeah, sure, we're going to hell. We know we're going to hell, but that's where the party's going to be.
But also that mood carried on within ISKCON. Devotees would join ISKCON, and then you'd be at a temple for some time. And I wasn't like this. I had maybe a little bit sense of duty, but a lot of devotees were like, oh, now we're going to go to this other temple because of whatever. The prasadam's better, or maybe Prabhupada was coming there. And there was
that's true. I had that experience with Mahamuni. He was like my role model when I joined, because I had been in the military, in the Missouri Army National Guard for 4.5 years. And he was a sergeant. He had been in Vietnam. And living basically, he had us out there in the morning in formation in front of the temple doing japa walks in, so he was like, he was like the Sarge for me, And one day he said, I'm going to Chicago. That's it. It was like a shocker for me that, how can you leave us, Mamuni? But devotees, they would sometimes just pick up and they would go.
Yeah. Yes.
Many years later, he had come back to St. Louis. At that time, Krishna Maharaj was the GBC and the guru there in St. Louis. After he had done his time in Bombay, which is a whole nother story. We don't have time. But Mamuni had married a young girl, and she was a new bhakta. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said he was going to initiate her, and he told Mamuni, "Well, look at I'm going to have a very intimate relation with your wife as her guru. What do you feel about that?" And he thought about it, and he said the next day he packed up his wife and they went to Detroit. That's how I felt it.
That's how
Mamuni and Tamal Krishna had this kind of competitive relationship.
Rasa. Yeah. Special rasa.
Yes, very special. He told the bus leaders, Mamuni was a bus leader, and he told them the first New York Rath Yatra, he told all the bus leaders, leave your buses outside of New York, just come in with the vans. And Mamuni said, why we're not bringing I'm bringing my bus, So he brought his bus. He parked it right in front of 55th Street. And here early in the morning, Prabhupada's coming out for his morning walk. So Prabhupada takes the bus and he says, oh, the buses are here. Very good. The buses should be in the parade. Just like in Independence Day, they show their military strength. And we should, in a parade, we should have all the buses and show our strength. And Mamuni's looking at Tamal and going,
I can just see it. Oh, Krishna. I think it's about time for us to end this time, but I do want to invite you for another time, if you agree. I just want to ask for now, have you gotten a copy yet of Giriraj Swami's book, I'll Build You a Temple?
Yes, I got it.
Have you started reading it?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So that would
Giriraj
be
Swami's book right here, I'll Build You a Temple.
Yeah.
You got to get this book. You got to read it. It's great.
I have a copy myself, but I haven't gotten started reading yet because I have other things. But yes, I plan.
I got halfway through it. It's really good. It's Giriraj Swami. Giriraj not only means a name for Govardhan, but Srila Prabhupada told him Giri means words, and Raj means king.
Ah.
So of words.
King of words. There you go.
He's a good writer. There's no doubt about it. And he spent a long time with this book. It came out after many years. But it's definitely, you got to read it.
Okay. Very good. So, Bhima Prabhu, let's see if the devotees, maybe we can unmute and express our appreciation for Bhima Prabhu's joining us today.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Bhima.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Bhima Prabhu. And we will be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
And thank you to all of you who have joined us today. And I wish you a very nice week, this coming week,
Hari-bol.
day by day, hour by hour, and minute by minute. May Krishna always be with you. And as Srila Prabhupada would say, chant and be happy.
Happy. Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
For
Krishna,
praying
Hare
today,
Krishna.
Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Guru
jai.
Pranami.
Guru Maharaj.
Maharaj, Jai Maharaj.
Jai
Jai
Vaishnava.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.